Everybody, and welcome to ESO Daily. I am your host, Mr. Craven. Alright guys, so I had to take a little break last night and I was PvPing on my Nightblade, doing a lot of different things, mid-year mayhem's out. I want to take advantage of it. And a lot of the times I'll switch up on the PS4, but on the PC platform I'm still kind of getting adjusted to how big some of the fights can be on in the PC. It's just, I mean, you could get major fights on the PS4 as well, but PC it's constant. It's just you have almost like little to no downtime, especially with an event like this occurring. It's crazy. But I've been getting a lot of support from players lately, so I was like, I don't typically give out PvP builds, but today, because of all the support, I'm going to give you guys my most favorite PvP healer build, and it is a Nightblade because I really enjoy Nightblade healing, especially PvPing. And this little guy is so good at it. This is what I call my Popeye build. And a lot of people are going to be like, what the fuck? Popeye? Really? Yeah, this is what I call the Popeye build. And I'll explain why. First thing I want to do is make sure all my skills are up. No, because I'm going to explain. I don't have all my speed up, so I have rapid maneuver on, but usually I keep them pale. But let me go ahead and make sure my food buff's up and whatever else. And I'll get into all the explanations. First, let's go with the sets here. Okay, so I'm going to be running the transmutation set, right? I'm also going to be running the spell power cure set, of course, with the troll, right? So the way this works, guys, is very, very, very simple. The spell power cure buffs me and my allies. Now in Battlegrounds, this becomes a little bit more dominant, and especially with transmutation, because we don't have CP. So what I end up doing, I'm able to buff them. This is my static effect. This is up, I believe, at all times. Let me make sure. So yeah, my spell power cure is applied at all times. My back bar is my transmutation set. So I have the restoration staff of transmutation precise. I have the mace. You can go sword, mace, whatever. But I usually go sword and board, because I want the extra defense, especially at range. I get a little extra cushion, against range characters on board side. So I really appreciate the sword and board. So once again, I run the sword and board. Infuse, max magicka, just push out a little bit more. Mace. I also have the head of the Troll's King's Visage. Right now it's reinforced. I'm still trying to look for the infused. My spell power cure jerkin, infused, ideal. Shoulders, I'm still looking for my impen, but I have my divine. It is what it is. Sash of transmutation, impen, lift, max health. Actually, I'm going to scale back my health a little bit, so I would recommend you putting magic on this. Hands, max health. Once again, I'm probably going to scale back a little bit, so I'd say max magicka. Legs, infused, ideal. And this is impen, my spell power cure. And my feet, I would keep one of these health. So I would say this health. Necklace of transmutation, spell damage. Now here's the deal, guys. You can go with regen if you want. I have 2 spell damage and only 1 regen. So that's up to you. That's a personal call. So, but that's how it works. And like I said, when I go to the back, then I'm double stacked. So I have the 5 and I have the 5. And of course I have the troll. The troll is now let me explain. We'll get into skills and I'll get into everything. Well, let's go into character sheet. On the board side, I'm looking at 42,345. My max health is well over 20. That's why I'm telling you I wanted to scale back. I usually keep around 19 for Battlegrounds. Now I'll get scaled up in health. So I want to drop this down to about 19. Magic recovery is 1,517. If you don't feel comfortable with that much recovery, that's why I said you can drop down to spell damage, go recovery, or you can go with, like recovery food, like the witch. But potion, drinking stuff, whatever, that works out. It's good. Spell crit 61 on board side. Allegation is 60 magicka, 4 health. I just switch out my gear. And on staff side, we're looking at 64 spell crit. This is a little high. So for me personally, I want to try to get powered staff. I haven't been able to find it. Just a heads up. So I haven't been able to find that powered staff. I got precise on right now. Also, we see the drop in the magicka. It's 37. And the health did drop. So like I said, I'm going to just stay around 19 for this build. Also, we're going to be running the thief because we're not running a crit set. Alright, let's get into the skills here. Healing ward. A lot of healers don't like to use this. For me, personally, I know it doesn't have a chance of going on me, but in Battlegrounds, I know it's going to be applied to an ally. So, and even in Cyrodiil, I'm usually in the deep shit. I'm trying to keep people alive. So, usually healing ward goes on the lowest character, so, you know, I like it. Sharpen, penetration don't do shit against the healing ward, and it's all, you know, base damage. So that penetration value is gone. So healing ward, yeah, one of my favorites. I'm going to go ahead with the mutagen. It's going to provide that nice hot. Now keep in mind I'm on spell power. This is on my resto. It's not going to apply my transmutation. Typically a lot of healers use mutagen to apply the transmutation buff. For me, it doesn't. I'm just using it as a hot and a cleanse. I get 2 out of 1. I'm going to do with combat prayer. Now this is why this is called the Popeye build, because I call this spinach. Right? I'm feeding Popeye spinach. And this is what I'm doing, because I can take the most weakest player, and by the time I'm done, he turns into a beast. He turns into an unkillable wrecking machine. And he thinks I could take shit-ass players and make them, like, ungodly with this build. So, I'll give him spinach. This is one of my spinach, cans of spinach. So, I'll pop him with the combat prayer. He's going to get the minor berserk, the minor resolve, the minor ward. He's going to increase his damage by 8%, and he's going to get resistance. Now, this is another thing I do. I debuff. So, I'm always going to take the target that my primary person in front of me is going to be hitting, and I debuff them, and I use the mark target for this. So this is going to go ahead and apply the major fracture and the major breach, reducing the resistance by 5,280 for 20 seconds. And you know, second effect, I don't really care about that, but I want the debuff. And being able to use this on resto, I don't have to use Ellie Drain. So I use the mark target. I use inner light on both bars, just max magicka and increases my crit. Reviving barrier, you know, this is going to give me a boost to my regen, and when needed, I'm going to basically go ahead and cushion my party members. Now, if you want to put Warhorn on here, you can. That's another spinach, but actually don't use Warhorn in certain scenarios. But, you know, reviving barrier for me is usually a must. My funnel health. Now this can apply my transmutation. Now keep in mind on sword and board I'm double stacked. This is a hot for the Nightblade healers. This actually deals damage and heals over time. So this counts as a hot, and it will proc the transmutation, but so will Refreshing Path. So Refreshing Path is another healing ability that I will go ahead and apply. It will also give me the major expedition, and I will also receive the passive Shadow Barrier, which increases my resistance for 5,280 for 6 seconds. So, love it. This is my CC effect. When people start getting on top of me because they realize I'm a healer, they want to kill me. So, I need a CC of some sort. I'm going to use the Aspect of Terror. It's going to basically fear them and also reduce their movement speed by 50%. And along with the Shadow Barrier, I can usually pretty much get out of a lot of scenarios. I'm going to be also using Impale and BGs and when I'm defending keeps. But if I'm in a, you know, basically a Zerg type scenario, I will put the rapid maneuvers on, or charging maneuvers. And of course I use the shooting star. This just gives me a ranged offensive attack. So this is a lot of offensive capability here as I'm healing and applying the transmutation. Because keep in mind, guys, now this is why I'm always telling people, this is why it's Popeye. Okay, so you saw my combat prayer. I call it spinach. I'm going to also apply spell power cure. Gives them a buff. Spinach. I'm also, when they start receiving under 50%, they get a nice health recovery from the troll of 1,494 spinach. And if that's not enough, I'm going to give them the basically the critical resistance of 1,259. And in battleground, since they can't put in resistance in there, this comes in handy. And once again, yes, it's spinach. So by the time it's said and done, guys, you can take pretty much your weakest players that would never get shit done, apply this type of build, keep it firing, and oh my god, they'll turn into like beast freaks. They'll actually start like taking on multiple tunes, like 1v-Xing everything. I've seen one dude who was like CP 120, and I start buffing him, and he has this invincible attitude, and he just goes balls to the wall. I mean, it was work to keep him up, but by the time all my spinach was applied, this dude was beast. And that's why I love this build. I love it because it makes any player just better. So, I mean, imagine putting this on an already good player, but when you put it on, you know, average players, it works out great. It really lends itself to its build, to this, to Battlegrounds. So I really like it. I love this build a lot. So there it is, guys. Pretty much, like I said, a lot of people might not like it. This is my favorite build. Like I said, I'm applying buffs. I'm giving them resistance. I'm giving them regen. I'm giving them recovery. It works out great, guys. Love this build. Love it. Love it. Love it. But and once again, thank all of you guys. It's because of you guys that I'm posting this. So you guys have been giving me a lot of support lately, and it doesn't go unnoticed. And even though I don't typically give out PvP builds, I wanted to share this one with you guys. It's one of my favorites, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you for watching today, and once again and always, have a nice day.